I love it when speeches start like that.
If you have any decent taste in music, then you've heard of artists like Chance the Rapper, XXXTentacion, Tyler the Creator, J. Cole, Joey Badass, or even Kendrick. But do you know about what they rap about and how they implement racial issues and political issues into their music? Everyone knows what racial profiling is, and if you don't, here's a comment from the United States President, Donald Trump. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people, as shown by CNN. Rappers implement the racial issues that go on in the world today in their music. Most of these artists' music is influenced by a cultural background. They use real-world issues to curate their lyrics, and they have controversial music videos that are based on real-world events and trendy problems. Not every rapper you hear came from money. In fact, almost all rappers grew up in poverty or in a low-income family. Kendrick Lamar grew up in Compton, California, where the area is well known for its gang affiliations. Kendrick's father was a part of a gang in Chicago called the Gangster Disciples before his family moved to Compton. Lamar's family was directly touched by the violence in the streets, yet he remained thoughtful and soft-spoken, ever the keen observer, even as a child, as stated by Biography.com. Another artist that grew up in the slums is J. Cole. Despite having a college degree and a thriving rap career, he didn't have the best childhood. Life gets hard, you ease your soul, cleanse your mind, learn to fly, then reach the stars. You take the time to look behind and say, look where I came, look how far I came. They say that dreams come true, and when they do, that there's a beautiful thing. A quote of a lyric directly from J. Cole's intro to 2014 Forest Hills Drive. This lyric is meant to portray how he came from nothing to something. Coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, no one knows where that is off the top of their head. So for him to make it out of the situation he was in was his dream come true. The last person who grew up with minimal tools and still made it big was Chance the Rapper. The big thing was the open mic. They used to have this open mic there every Wednesday. We would all go to it. Chance said in an interview with Complex. Chance recorded his own music, and his main tool for putting himself out there was open mic night in his city, Chicago, Illinois. He didn't have a label to promote his music, and he still doesn't to this day. To move on to another great example, Jahseh Onfroy, better known as XXXTentacion, Lauderhill, Florida native, recently lost a friend of his during the summer of 2017. His most recent album, 17, included a song titled Jocelyn Flores. This was the name of his friend that took her own life while visiting him in May 2017. The bridge in this song contains hints at what he's been thinking about since his friend died. A lyric from his song on Genius.com. I don't want to pretend we're something, we're nothing. I've been stuck thinking about her. I can't hold on. This lyric explains how deeply affected he was by her suicide, even though they weren't very close friends. He battled with depression himself, so in the song he mentions that he hates himself because he knows what it's like to go through depression, and he wishes he would have known about her so he could have helped, but he didn't, and she took her own life. He has other music such as I Spoke to the Devil in Miami, He Said Everything Would Be Fine. This song is from 2015, going back to when I mentioned that he was depressed. The first line of his first verse, according to Genius, is, and I'm always where the sun don't shine, the tears don't show, won't hurt me now because heart's been broke. To elaborate on this last lyric, X has battled with depression and suicidal thoughts for some years before he gained popularity. Now to put politics into perspective, Eminem recently dropped a freestyle that blatantly took shots at Donald Trump. His entire freestyle was aimed at President Trump, and at the end of his rant on his music video, you can even say, we love our military and we love our country, but we effing hate Trump. J. Cole also created a song titled Be Free, and this song was to bring the public eye to the tragic shootings of all of the African American people in the past years. One of the most heartfelt lyrics this generation has ever heard. All we want to do is break the chains off. All we want to do is be free. Another lyric by Joey Badass is just self-explanatory. 3 Ks, 2 As in America. Now onto the videos that accompany these rappers with their songs. Let's start off with 2017's most controversial music video, XXXTentacion's Look at Me. This video contained really graphic images. At first, the class is a riot, total anarchy, then things get really bad really quick. The song transitions into another song titled Riot by X. It starts out with footage from some of the killings, Philando Castile is the main one. It shows the actual shooting, then goes into the song, and X is hanging from a tree with a gold chain around his neck. The next scene is him trashing a car and setting it on fire. The last scene is silent, no music playing, no talking, just light white noise. The video goes on to show X bring 2 kids to a stage where there's a hanging noose, 1 white kid and 1 African American kid. He then puts the noose on the white kid's neck and begins pulling the rope down to raise the kid as if he was suffocating. I know this is to show how America would react if it was a white person being killed for once and not a black person. But he used kids, and that made it a lot worse than it really should have been. One more controversial video is Kodak Black's tunnel vision video. At the beginning of the video, there's a white farmer driving around wearing a red and white Make America Hate Again hat, which is a parody hat to Trump's Make America Great Again campaign hats. The video cuts in and out of scenes where a black man is fighting against the white man wearing the hat. It's obvious they were fighting to the death of one or the other. And on the rap scenes, Kodak is rapping in front of two giant wooden crosses. One is on fire, just like the KKK entrance. Okay.